Welcome to Passionate Curiosity. I'm Adam, and today I want to talk about the value of education. I've heard a lot of people talk about value of education, and many of them have said you can't put a price tag on education and knowledge, and that is one of the reasons that they are paying so much for college, because you can't put a price tag on it. That's simply not true. The truth is, you can, and people do put a price tag on education. Now, knowledge and wisdom can be very, very valuable, but let's ask this question. If one person over here is willing to teach you in biology, and somebody over here is willing to give you the same information but for less money, then you tell me if somebody's put a price tag on education. Obviously, education can be a bad deal if you can get the same education for less money. And I think that is one of the really big points that people are looking at college like, well, the experiences, the knowledge, the information that I'm going to get are invaluable. And that's simply not true. And the reason it's not true is because you can get that information somewhere else. In some occasions, the information is free online. You can get the information somewhere else from somebody else. There are small shops or introductions or simply books at Barnes and Noble that have all of the same information that the business classes are teaching. So yeah, you can put a price tag on education. And it's the same thing when it comes to universities. Now, I know on this channel, I'm going to hit up academia pretty hard. Now, I have well said that, you know what? It matters a lot what you're paying for the education. If somebody is paying for your education and wants to send you for free, that is completely different than if somebody is demanding that you need to borrow $100,000 to get the same education. The difference is huge, right? It can absolutely dramatically affect your life. So, weigh out, what is your education worth? What is it costing you? What kind of return do you expect to get from it? What do you want to get out of it? Be honest with yourself. And unfortunately, I think one of the biggest problems that everyone has is that they actually have no idea what they want to get out of it. They're going to college hoping, praying that college will provide them the answer. But I have certainly seen, and I know many of you have as well, time and time and time again, the person who graduates college goes home and has no idea what they want to do. And that is where I feel like a lot of people have felt really disillusioned, was they felt like I was supposed to find my calling in life. I was supposed to find my purpose. I was supposed to have a better clue of what I was actually going to enjoy, what I want to do, what it is I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And I think now, more than ever, that is just not the case. And I think even furthermore, because people actually change jobs and careers so frequently. In the old days, was you were expected to hold down a job, especially a career for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. But today, honestly, it's a shock if you stay at a company longer than a year. And in fact, I've heard some people, they're even looking for people who have been through several jobs. They're not looking to see, oh, have you stayed at a company long enough? No, they want to know, it's like, well, why have you only worked at one company? Are you not in demand? Do people not want you? Does somebody else not want to hire you? Are you not broadening or exploring new horizons? And so I think it's very, very important for us to make sure that we understand, why are you going to school? Why are you getting an education? What is it there for? It has to have a purpose, a reason. And I also think that when you have a purpose for going to school, when you're learning something for a specific calling, then you remember it better. It still blows my mind. All of the students who go through college, who do all of these classes, and they're supposed to be educated. And then you ask them, hey, so what was it about? What was it like? And they can't tell you. I'm dumbfounded sometimes. Now, if somebody asks me, it's like, well, Adam, you sound like you're so smart and blah, blah, blah. What do you remember from your classes? And I'll say the same thing. Yeah, I don't remember either. But that's because I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know. And that's one of the things, right? If you go to class not being interested in the subject, you have no interest in what it is they're teaching, you just don't remember it. You don't recall it. Hell, even if you got A's, and I've met plenty of A students who couldn't tell you a lick of what they learned at that class. It's such a waste of time, which is one of the reasons I'm so down on gen eds, because I think they're essentially worthless. I get the concept. They want to say, oh, well, you know what? You need gen eds because you should be well rounded and have a good understanding of broad materials. I think there are several things that make gen eds completely worthless. And number one is the fact that nobody actually remembers anything. It wastes all of their time, energy, resources. The only thing that it does is it puts a little bit more money back in the college book. So, no. Understand, why are you going to school? What is it there for? How can I actually obtain some information that's going to be useful? And then, what am I going to pay for it? What is it worth to me? Education is relative, right? You know, understanding more about bricklaying is really great if you want to be a bricklayer. But if you plan to be a doctor or a botanist or something else, it's not going to do you a whole lot of good. You might as well just watch the Discovery Channel. Information and knowledge is very, very important. But today, especially in an information age, why not actually focus on the things that you need?